All right, let's see if that fixes it. Cool. Okay, thanks. Yeah, weird, right? I was doing I used OBS for a podcast yesterday, and I'm guessing I messed something up. That's super interesting. I just changed one other thing, so let me double triple check. Appreciate that, G local channel. G local channel. Local channel. Okay. I'm just thinking your name sounds like a local news channel or something. Appreciate that though. That's pretty awkward when audio isn't coming through. But you know, it happened. So yeah, I'll just jump right back in. Although I guess nothing really is explained now, but we're trying to get pin labels to show up properly inside of snippets for, I guess, this type of schematic. So it says one pin one, but it should actually be like one something else. How's it going? It's going pretty good. Yeah, it's been a little while since I streamed, so yeah. Interestingly, this stream is going to LinkedIn and Algora. So we started using Algora for bounties, and I guess this is a sort of bounty website for devs. So yeah, we'll see. You can win bounties now. If you go on our Discord, there's a bounty channel, and some issues have an associated bounty. So compete, win. I don't know if it's competing. We're going to list something like probably like $1,000 of bounties slowly this month. I think we should be able to get about $1,000. Can you ask something? Maybe. I mean, that's never good news, you know, when people are asking, you know. It's like, if you have to ask, I don't know. You could have just asked, then it would have been fine, but now that you're asking to ask, it's like somebody asking, "Can I say something controversial?" But go ahead, shoot. I said this earlier, but I guess I was muted. If you have any PRs, definitely hit up that Review Me channel on the Discord. Happy to do live reviews of those PRs against TS Circuit. I'm not going to review your web app side projects, though. Get that crap out of here if you wanna post some of that. None of that. What do you think this is? All right, let's run this test. I have to rename it to a test file. So, clarifying the goal, it says one. It should say like FP or enable or like actually have semantic meanings. This is kind of meaningless the way it's set up right now. So we're gonna hopefully get something meaningful. Op-Edix asked to say something, but then was unable to say something, and it feels like in all likelihood, you know, there was something bad in there. YouTube was like, oh, we're not gonna put that on the stream. Can't find my test file. Try harder. All right. So I don't really know how these things get labeled. Let me see. We might have to look in the circuit.svg code base. LMAO. Did YouTube block it? Did you try to say something and YouTube blocked it? If you have to ask. I don't see any labels in here. I don't know where that pin one label comes from. Let's log the source ports too. I should probably do a tutorial on this at some point. I told some people I was going to do a tutorial for the TS Circuit CLI, so I do feel obligated to do that. But that code base is in rough shape, so that's gonna be a little intense. All right, now we got our source ports. Port hints. All right, it's probably loading from the port hints. I think what we should do is add a property to schematic ports. That's where it's most intuitive. And we could call it like, I don't know. It's like a display label, we could call it. So we can add that to the circuit JSON specification. Circuit JSON is like our assembly format for circuits, essentially. It's a JSON representation of everything that you could want in circuit land. Do you have a LinkedIn? Yeah, I'm streaming on LinkedIn. Were you asking to connect on LinkedIn? Cringe, bruv. Cringe. I don't check LinkedIn very much. I don't have too much of a need for LinkedIn. Although theoretically I'm streaming on LinkedIn right now, so I don't know. Although I streamed for like 10 minutes quietly, silently, so who knows if that was entertaining. Probably not, is my guess. Okay, so what were we up to? We were trying to add to the schematic port definition. Oh, interesting. This is using a very legacy form of the spec. It's only a Zod type, so let's modernize. So the problem with Zod types, these inferred Zod types, is they like are kind of terrible for debugging. They like yeah, I don't know, the type errors are really bad. So we're going to try to make the type errors a little better. If I seem sleepy, I am definitely pretty sleepy. I think that might be why I didn't stream. I checked my 8 sleep scores, and I've had terrible scores for the past 3 days. Somewhat related to the election stuff and yeah, and mostly Factorio, if I'm going to be completely honest. I was going to ask, how long does it take to be good at React? Because I want to start React. It's a good question. How long does it take? I don't know. I think it's the same thing as anything. You got to put in like your 1,000 hours, right? So just start building stuff. There's no way to do it. When I was younger, I was experimenting with a lot of languages a lot. So, experiment with languages, or not just with languages. Experiment with technologies. There's like a million React technologies. So, just go nuts. Get yourself out there. Try some stuff out. Yeah, we're just redefining this. This is just to improve type errors. And then we're going to introduce our new one too. It's bad to do 2 things in a PR, but our new type is going to be, we said display. Let's call it display pin label. That feels very, if you have to pick a primary pin label to display. Okay. So instead of defining schematic port, so this is like Zod stuff, if you know Zod. We're going to have an inferred schematic port. We're not going to export it, but we are going to do expect types match, which is a utility type, and we're just going to expect those 2 types to match, and they do. Pin label, instead of display pin label, just pin label. Pins have multiple labels, so I feel like you have multiple port hints. So this is really just like conventionally, if you look at KiCad or whatever, only one is displayed. So I feel like if I called it pin label, that would imply it only has one. If you call it display pin label, it's like, okay, this is the pin label you're choosing to display. I'm confused about learning. Should I start with 50 through 100 hours of tutorial or directly jump into projects? Jump into projects. There's no reason to do tutorials. Yeah. Terrible strategy to do tutorials. Just go build something. Go on REPL, right? REPL it or whatever if you have environment issues setting up your PC. And literally just go build stuff. Go build a tower defense game. You can build it. Me and my girlfriend built a tower defense game with React in like, I don't know, half an hour or an hour, and it was all with AI. You're not going to be able to do it that fast, but just trying to do it, you'll learn a lot. And you'll be frustrated, and AI will help you a ton, but there's no reason to watch videos. We are in a new age of learning. If you're learning from tutorials, you're learning at old speeds. Okay, display pin label. Display pin label. Yeah, Factorio is pretty fun, I gotta tell you. I think I know why Factorio hits me and maybe hits other people so hard, but I know why it hits me. It's because, let me just write this commit message. Sorry, it's kind of off stream. Add display pin label to schematic port. So we just opened a pull request. We'll wait for our test to pass, and then we'll merge this guy in, check our work a little bit. So I think Factorio hits me because you make pretty steady progress, and it's pretty hard to revert your progress. Like you can definitely mess things up, but generally you only move forward. Like you're making more stuff with your factory. It's hard to like make more stuff and somehow that be a bad thing. You can always like sort stuff. I don't know if you guys know what Factorio is. You build a factory, a really big factory. It doesn't feel like that in normal life. A lot of times when you're engineering, you end up paying for mistakes, for architecture mistakes that you make. It's not slow and steady progress. But I think that with code bases, you should strive to define architectures where you're always making progress. It's always forward motion. I know that's a little bit abstract, but like for a lot of code bases, like if you can, like for example, our schematic symbols project is a good example. Like the way we defined it, we didn't try to do like tons of abstraction on these are all defined in code. These are all defined in TypeScript. We didn't do so much abstraction that you like that like changing an abstraction would break things. Like it's very simplified. Each component lives independently, and once you have it, you kind of have it forever. So it's really tough to structure projects like that where it horizontally scales. That's what I like to say. But I think we've done an okay job. Like the fact that we separated the spec from the implementation code for TS Circuit, I think that's kind of a win, because if you discover this, essentially discovering the best API for your product, if you're an API product, is forward momentum. So if you can kind of have that discovery process independently, even if I knew what TS Circuit was going to look like 6 months ago, I could have probably shaved off 3 months of time. It's just really hard to plan that stuff out. Yeah, it'd be cool to try to get some of the free routing API working too. The maintainer of free routing was emailing me, and I guess the API is in really good shape. So that could be something that's fun to do too when we work on async auto routing. But anyway, let's get these pin labels working. So we've updated this. Did I make any changes to the 9-button keyboard? I haven't. Yeah, people are like, Sevi, see your freaking projects through, man. Right? Yeah, I have it right here. So I could definitely do some programming on this today. I also have an ESP that we can do some programming on. I'm gonna be completely honest though. The reason I don't necessarily want to finish this is because I'm like, the design is fine, but I didn't know at the time it was going to be so hard to get RP2350s, the main chip on it. So I want to redo it with a new microcontroller. The long-term goal of the project is to have it so you can swap to any microcontroller. Like you can say, oh, I want this one to be an app mega, whatever. Like just let people choose. And then people can even choose Wi-Fi modules and stuff for whatever they want to do. I don't know why you would want Wi-Fi on a keyboard, but anyway, that's why I'm like, do I really want to like invest a bunch of time in the firmware level of the RP2350 if I can't get it assembled? Because like I want to have it so anybody can order boards on snippets. That's the goal. Anybody should be able to buy boards. Not Wi-Fi low, but Bluetooth. Yeah, that's true. ESP does Bluetooth. Yeah, so that's a good point. Yeah, so we're currently doing a Wi-Fi module. We're trying to get this finished. So if we finish this, I'll route an ESP32 version of the keyboard. And then, because really any microcontroller works. I also want to do an RP2040 because RP2040 gets me so excited because if you look up the inventory they have, it's insane. 29,000. They have 29,000. I mean, like that doesn't sound like that much, but relative to microcontrollers, that's a ton available. So I really want to make a keyboard with this, but this thing is kind of a pain in the ass because it doesn't have built-in USB support. Yeah, it's all a struggle right now. Like bootstrapping TS circuit is such a it's such a battle. It's like, but then the cool thing is most people when they build electronics, it's like they build a design, they learn something, but most of the knowledge that they gained is just in their head. Whereas for us, if we write code, like if this 5-volt regulator works, I'm never going to make one again unless something goes out of stock. But I'll just be able to use this subsection of the chip forever. I'll never have to worry about it. So we actually gain quite a bit of capital each time we produce a circuit, but it does the bootstrap cost is so high. Anyway, we're starting with a small bug. We just want this to display the actual pin label instead of the number. So gonna continue working on that. We just updated the spec to support that schematic ports having a display pin label. So we'll see what we can do there. Yeah, like I'm not opposed to programming the keyboard. It would probably take like an hour and a half. But you know what? Here's what I'll say. I have a trip to Taiwan soon, and the week before I go to Taiwan, yeah, the imposter's like, oh, I don't want to. No, I mean, I really see every person as just an inner voice inside my head. So, you're the side representing Sevi. Finish your project. So I appreciate it. It's a good thing. But I'm going to Taiwan soon, so the week before I go to Taiwan, there's not going to be a lot of pressure to build boards because they won't ship in time to me. So I might switch to doing firmware and stuff that, there's no point in designing boards prior to that trip. And I'm going to be there for 3 weeks. Yeah, little Taiwan trip. I'm going to Taiwan, that's right. Business or pleasure? Mostly pleasure. Mostly pleasure. I've wanted to go to Taiwan for a while because I've had like business relationships in Taiwan. So it's like, to me, it's kind of, it's a little bit of a mix. I do have some things I'm planning on doing for TS Circuit, and I'm also going to be working a bit while I'm there, but I just want to like kind of get familiar with it, make it a little bit more comfortable. It's pretty easy to get to from San Francisco. It's pretty cheap, actually. Getting to Taiwan, I think it costs, the flight was really, really cheap. I'm trying to remember. I want to say one way was like, I'm probably going to get this wrong because I can't remember one way versus two way, but I want to say it was like, it could not have been more than like $500 for the one way. So I think it was less than that though. So pretty good prices, pretty easy. Yeah, hopefully maybe I'll try to do some streaming or something in Taiwan. That'd be fun for me. Yeah, not bad for the distance. Yeah, it's a 14-hour flight to get there, 11 hours back. I've probably talked about this a million times. But I really like flying now because when I fly, I get to go to airport lounges. I got a card that like 2 years ago now that lets me go to lounges, and that like changes your experience so much because like on arrival and like on departure, you get like you can like, especially if the lounges are good that you have access to, you get like a big meal, you know, and like it like they have to be nice lounges. A lot of lounges suck, but that's completely changed my. I used to hate traveling. It used to be like my least favorite thing in the world. Oh man, sleep deprivation is really killing me. I'm like like it's not even that bad. I just got really sensitive to it because I've been on this like Brian Johnson thing. I wish I could show my sleep scores. You can program pin outlets. Program pin outlets. What do you mean by that? Which airline? United. Is the lounge worth it? I've been flying a lot, but I just chill at whatever table. Lounges, you know, you know my style of recommendations at this point, but I mean I love the lounge. It changed. I like hated flying, and now I like it. Especially if you fly out of San Francisco, get to your flight an hour early, get a big breakfast, and you'll get like a pretty nice meal. Yeah, airport food is too expensive. In a lounge, it's all free, so it's like get that big meal. I used to back when Chase Reserve let you eat for free at restaurants at an airport. I would be like, oh yeah, like hands down, you want this. But I actually wouldn't get a Chase Reserve now. I would maybe pick an airline. If you're in San Francisco, United makes sense. I think you're in San Francisco. Not to out you, Peely. Just gonna mess with my mic volume a little bit. I'm looking at my levels. All right, what the okay, right. So we want to do a test. Let's log. I'm just going to keep logging schematic ports until we do the implementation. I have to update circuit JSON according to our spec. Got to have the credit card. Yeah, you got to have the credit card. I think I'm capping out. Sorry, guys. I'm like really messing around with the stream. I think because I think I normally have a compressor on my mic output, so I'm just noticing I'm capping a little bit. But anyway, tell me if this sounds annoying. I'm not going to mess with it anymore, but if it is annoying, I will fix it. I'm like so anal about audio. Just like generally, you know, like you won't catch me using a compressor mic if I can avoid it, which is the most common kind. I'm just so annoying about it. I think you're saying pin outlets, but I think you mean pin outputs, like a GPIO, general purpose IO pin, are programmable. So either assign I2C, digital, or analog. It's pretty cool. Yeah. That's general purpose IO. Yeah. Sorry, I feel like I mansplained it just because you typoed out like outputs. But yes, absolutely. I think all the boards I'm using, ESP, Raspberry Pi, have programmable GPIO. And I agree, it's a super, super cool feature. All right, so for the display pin label, we're basically going to select the most appropriate pin label. Wow, there's no code that's kind of like this. So I guess we want to get the source port. Best display pin label, string or null. Actually, we'll say string or undefined, because I think that'll make our types a little better. If you accidentally mansplain something, but the person is genuinely needing it, does it mean it's emasculating? You know, this is exactly the type of social policy that I stream, that I'm here to discuss. Thank you, Peely, for throwing out the important questions. That's why I do it. That's why that's what I do for having a platform. It's what I do with my 10 audience platform. I don't know. I have mansplained things before, but I don't think it was because I don't see mansplaining as a gendered thing, which is maybe dumb. But it's just like if you're explaining something with too much confidence, I call that mansplaining. So I abuse the term. I don't see it as like a sexist thing, just more so like just the general phenomenon. Because there's no word like confident explaining. Zohabe, what up? Long time no see. Indeed. I've been a little bit offline, a little bit. Playing Factorio, listening to the election. You got to go offline in the U.S. prior to the election, because otherwise, you might accidentally say something. All of a sudden, you're canceled, right? So you got to be careful. I'm too young to be vocal about politics. That's my feeling. Property match doesn't exist. How does this work? I forget how this API works. So if we match that pattern, we're going to continue, actually. We're going to pass those. Otherwise, equals port hints. Okay. Okay. You play Factorio. I just started. What election? G-Local channel. You know what's funny about your name is G-Local. It's almost like it's close to an oxymoron because I think G and I think global. It's like you're global but with a C instead of a B. Anyway, my point being, you should know what election just happened. The U.S. election. Yeah, so I just started playing Factorio and I love it. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I played super long. At least relative to me, I played like 10 hours, so a very long time. You know what's funny? I bought Factorio like 6-7 years ago from a Humble Bundle. So I think the reason I didn't play it more was it's not in my Steam library. I had to fish it out of Humble Bundle. By the way, Humble Bundle, they kind of took a good thing and kind of messed it up, huh? G-Local channel looks like you are living under a rock. I couldn't agree more. I'm just kidding. It's not. That's a very U.S.-centric view. Zohabe. More like a cave, to be honest. Okay. Sus. Very sus. All right, let's run this test and see what happens. Yeah, display pin label 9. That's not what I wanted. It's even worse. Okay, so if it matches a number, can I make pin optional? Let's do an optional group regex. Oh, regex. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Cool. Yeah, all right. Looks great. Now we have to test that. Oh, how should we test this? Let's call it display pin labels. Map to that. I always struggle with these expectations. I think what I'm going to do is sort it, and then I'm going to say to equal an empty array, which will be false, but then I'll look at what the test returns, and I'll copy that over. Yeah. So that's like a better snapshot test. A lot of people would just use a snapshot test for that. That actually makes your tests unreadable. So that's the balance with snapshot testing, is like if your tests are unreadable, people replace them and nobody even cares if you broke the snapshot. They literally don't care because nobody reads the snapshot. So having it encoded in the test like this, a little bit more obvious. Let's run that again. Too busy learning to code. That's good. Honestly, time better spent. I always like to say politics is like a drug, It's like very entertaining. You love it, but it's ultimately very bad for you. Okay, so add display pin label to schematic ports. Okay, we still have one more PR before this is working. We have to add support for rendering the schematic pin label inside circuit to SVG. Yeah, it was like many modules. Everybody complains about it. They're like, oh, I got to commit to multiple modules. I would say that that's my number one feedback I've gotten as a tech lead is like too many modules. And I get it. I have a lot of modules. It's my approach. But it works. I think it's not really a tension with my style or something like that so much as it's a tension with like moving fast and having like good boundaries, because good boundaries actually do make it so you move slower. But that is probably my most common piece of feedback as a lead, is that, hey, all these modules, they slow us down because we have to do a lot of pull requests. But they stabilize the projects. So, bro, what is this theme? What is this theme? Copy multi, what's going on? Zohaib, the theme. I think I use beard, and then I randomly generate a color for each project. So each project has a VS Code config that gives a random color. Other than that, everything is default. The reason I do this with the different colors is you can see when I put this out, like, it's much easier to see which project these correspond to, because I don't like to have all the projects open. I like to just have one project open at a time. I'm very module oriented. Okay, so let's see. There's probably schematic. We need a this is a little bit of a pain in the ass. Let's merge that core PR first. Ooh, we failed. We failed a bun test. We also failed type check. What do we fail? So my biggest complaint with bun is sometimes it's impossible to see the test that failed. What test failed? Oh, bun, you're killing me. How am I doing? I'm doing good. I'm very sleep deprived, relatively. Let's see what type checks are failing. This is due to a unrelated change. Pin labels. Pin labels. This is not being accepted. Pin 7 is incompatible with index signature. Yeah, it's a weird type bug, but we can look, I don't know if we ship today. Today's Thursday. We'll ship tomorrow. We'll ship on Friday. So today I'm gonna fix little bugs. Couldn't get your 10-hour beauty sleep. True. Actually true. I'm trying to function with 4-5 sleep hours for days. I used to do that. I used to be like 4 hours is what I need. I'm good with 4 hours, and I used to do that. I could go 5 days on 4 hours, no problem. And I actually kind of liked it. Like it was like functioning on very little sleep. It's like you're just like kind of drunk. Things seem a little bit funnier sometimes. But now I'm all bought into the Brian Johnson stuff. so I'm all about good sleep, but I get it. Pin labels is the issue. Where is that defined? Yeah, this is always kind of annoying. So basically, because I'm throwing it in as a const, they're complaining here. When I was young, yeah, 4 or 5 hours. Yep, absolutely. Get a little bit older, body gets a little less functional. Suddenly that's like traumatic. Yeah, it's been like 3 days in a row that I've stayed up to midnight, and I wake up at very early. I wake up at like 6 a.m. So I'm not like that sleep deprived, but yeah, it is unfortunate. So like the easy fix for this is just to put read only here. I don't know what else that'll break though. I'm also a little bit weirded out by the fact that yeah, I think it's fine. Okay. Yeah, if we wanted to be like super this should be equivalent, but we could also say like string or read only string. But yeah, this is the part of TypeScript I think a lot of people don't deal with. Is like the read only stuff. Let's see if Zod supports it. Zod supports it. So basically, if you have a read only string, you're saying, okay, this is an immutable it's an immutable string being passed in there, and mutable is actually compatible with that, so this shouldn't break anything. But this is like I think this is the biggest like library author TypeScript foot gun, is not understanding when you basically always want to use read only, but since it's like kind of an extra keyword, people don't. Anyway, that should probably work. Surprised I'm not seeing that type error in more places. Yeah, theoretically we're broadening it, so it shouldn't cause more errors, but you never know. I end up waking up at 5. You wake up at 5? Is that what kids did you? Got some kids and then you're waking up earlier? Why is this not opening? VS Code has the flakiest command click for URLs. Drives me nuts. How nice is it that the CI runs quick enough where like basically as soon as I open the PR, the CI is run? That's paradise right there. No time to get distracted. When I'm not on stream, like every 5 seconds I'm opening Twitter. It's really bad. Which is why I had to make a Twitter Chrome extension to save myself. All right. We should be able to update props now. I think as you get older, you end up waking up more at night. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's hard to stay asleep. I've been trying some pretty weird stuff lately. Like I sleep with AC now. That's super new. In San Francisco, you can just kind of open a window and you're basically at ideal temperature. But I decided to be like super, try to keep my like room very consistent night over night. So far, that's like maybe worked a little, but it's too early to say. Yeah. Kids train you for that too. Yeah. Kids kind of have to wake up. I mean, I had to wake up. I had a really bad bus route, but I had to wake up at like 6:30 or 6:15 for school. It was insane. I don't know if people still have to wake up that early. Okay, so we've updated this. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see a type error anymore, so I think we fixed the type error. Cool. Let's hope the bun test failure was a fluke. think that's due to a rebase. Not my kids yet. 7 a.m. is good enough at the moment. Nice. That's good. Yeah, I think it might have been high school that started happening. Yeah, it's surprising how early kids have to wake up sometimes. It's like, that's rough. Kids these days, they got it rough. Something that's driving me nuts is the zoom is offset on this thing. See how it's not zooming into my cursor? It's driving me nuts, but like, oh, I don't know. I could fix this too. It wouldn't be that hard. I do like how smooth it is. But yeah, why is that happening? I wish I knew where it was zooming into too, relative to where I dragged. Let's see. Okay, so if I start zooming in, where is the point it's zooming into? Is it my cursor? It kind of looks like it is my... No. Yeah, it's definitely related to my cursor. Like right now it's zooming in on pin 7, even though my cursor is up there. I think it might have something to do with the offset of this container from the page. But I don't understand why... Yeah. Zoom bugs, very tricky. That one is tolerable too, because I can futz around with it and figure it out, but... Zoom out of the browser to 1 second. Zoom out of the browser, like make it smaller. Then we refresh. Run. Schematic. I don't know what we learned from that. Please take us on this journey with you. I like the idea of debugging when there's like 20 seconds of latency between each thing. Okay, now what do I do? Oh, is this failing? Oh. Type check. Oh, okay. That's fair. This should import from lib/hooks / create use component. That's fine. That's probably why the tests are failing. Fix test to not use TS circuit core import. If I have a window within a window, and if I zoomed in, say 120x, things don't line up. Yeah. I think I don't think the global offset. So I think you're right, but I don't think the global offset of the window, like the global offset of the browser window, I think it's the local offset of the HTML container. That's my guess. Why is this? I think format bot is giving me merge conflicts. Oh, somebody didn't format their code. I'm formatting other people's code. Fix other people's code. See, that's why you need, you know, tisk is all I got to say to that is tisk. Bro, what MacBook do you have? I have an M3 Pro with only 512 gigabytes of space, and I regret that. I would have upgraded it. I think it was like $200 to get 512 gigabytes, which is kind of a ripoff, so that's why I didn't do it, but I do regret it, so... Turns out these live streams are big chonkers on the disk if I save them. What? Why are you failing? Oh, please tell me why you're failing at least. Snapshot does not match. Somebody did something. I don't think this is me. Why don't you have an external SSD? It's kind of impractical for how much I move around. It'd be impractical to carry that. Usually I just have, it's like my buffer area, because I'm usually just moving things from Restream to Substack or something like that. And my buffer area basically fills up constantly. All right, did anything break? So we've got, yeah, something did break. Look at that. That wasn't me, though. This one looks fine. 1. Now it's saying 1. Instead of 10K. And then this looks super stupid now. Somebody broke something. Don't you approve the merges to main? I have given some people merge privilege, but so it could be my fault. So it could be my fault because I approve most of them, but sometimes things do get merged. This one I approved. Let's see if this is related. I don't think this would have done it. Yeah, this is... Yeah, mistakes were made. I could try... This is the most suspicious of these PRs, although this one isn't particularly suspicious. Like, I don't know how this would... Ports from footprints. It's kind of unrelated. There's this update. Let's check out Circuit SVG, see if somebody merged something there. I'm just trying so hard not to have regressions on this part of the code because it's like we've really got set back by regressions on our schematic viewer. Let's see. So this one did get a review too, but it is a pretty meaty one. Let's see. So this one mostly relates to net label, but we've got some stuff in here. I just got a lint for this stuff. Drives me crazy to see it though. Okay. This is all net label code. That should be unrelated. Okay, we're gonna have to debug it. I don't know what happened. I'd rather we could play the revert game, but I think I'd rather just figure out what's going on. Or not the revert game, but like the get bisect game where you go through each commit until it breaks. Interesting position choice for terminal encode. Yeah, so I figured the terminal is like second most interesting. So most interesting away from my head. And then second most interesting also away from my head. And then files, like who cares if I block files, right? I actually think this is very smart. Am I left-handed? No. Oh, I always have code on the left, though. The reason I have code on the left, I can't remember. I can't remember why I usually have code on the left. But it is, I do feel it's most natural for the streamer to be on the bottom right. Do you feel that way? Streamer on bottom right is most natural. I feel like streamer on bottom left is weird. I could be wrong. Let's get the console.log out of there. Oh, this file is also not formatted. Oof, oof. All right. Grr. Okay, we're gonna do a couple things. First, we add format testing. I feel like I prefer my work on the right and reading on the left. Yeah. You know, actually, I don't know why I like it on the left. I think I used to have my terminal on my left and my browser on my right. Or something like that. Yeah, you know, actually, I don't know. Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, haven't thought about it in a long time. Add format check. And then we're going to add a biome rule that says no package JSON or no console log. Cuz like you can get mad at people all day, but for things like these, it's just not worth getting mad at people. Just like put in a rule. If it bothers you, put in a rule. No console log. This rule is deprecated. No console. Okay. Lint suspicious no console. Lint suspicious no console. I really hate how they have these categories. I wish if they had the categories, they would just make it flat. I don't like the category system to me. It's not great. It's my hot take. No console. I don't like the nesting. It makes it really hard. I'm always thinking like, no console. What is that, a style thing? What is that? Property no console is not allowed. What are you talking about? What? Let's make sure I have the latest version of Biome. No console is not allowed. Who's saying that, first of all? No console is not allowed. Like, who's throwing that error? Trailing commas is not allowed? What are you talking about? Also, what can I set this to? Options. Okay, so we can do warn or error or asserts. Let's do warn. See if that changes behavior. So now if I do console.log, hello, we get don't use console. I like it. Format, add no console rule, add format check. All right, let's see. Okay, good. Someone from chat apologized for some. I don't care. Fool. All right. Let's see. Script not found format check. Okay, so apparently we have to have a format check script. Small fixes all day, every day. Gotta go. Good luck. Thanks. Cheers. Thanks for turning up. I gotta order lunch. That's what I gotta do. I'm out of food. Normally I do sort of like a Costco order. Ooh, look at the selection. Oh. Yeah, you know, Biome is really inconsistent about this. I don't know what's up with it, but it always wants to format this files thing differently. So I just add it to the ignore. Or it's like npm. I think npm and Biome fight on it, and it's like, who cares about the package lock file? Anyway, let's add that to the ignore. Okay. Spring cleaning, you know? Yeah, I feel like you just got to take some time and make your code base a place, you know, you're happy to work in sometimes. Just keep the nest clean. But it is time consuming, you know? Some projects where there's like TS ignore everywhere, I'm like, nah, this isn't safe. Yeah, and then we've got this friggin' snapshot bug. This is the worst. It's totally unrelated to my change. So it could be due to the props update, technically, actually. But you can see 0.0001 is being converted to scientific notation. It wasn't really displaying correctly in either case, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. What we want to do is like make it so that yeah, this is the incorrect. This is worse than this. But it should be like 10 microfarad or something like that. So we could use something like an SI formatter. I think I have it somewhere in the TS circuit org. Yeah, format SI unit. Oh, it's in the JLC PCB parts library. This is an unreleased sort of piece of code that I will be releasing soon. Yeah, let's copy this out. We'll make it into an NPM module. So github.new. Typescript function for formatting SI units. Turn 0.01 into 1M. Didn't really finish that description, but I hit enter, so here we are. Gonna do a bun init, and then I'm gonna plop down some files I like. Let's do a biome file since we're complaining about formatting. What else can we plop here? Let's plop we'll plop the MIT license down. That's really it. It's gonna be a very simple module. And then we'll open this guy up. I wonder what color it will choose. Sort of a pinkish red. We're going to add TS up for building. Paste in our code. I actually don't love the micro unit, but that's fine. I like you. I just like to use you. But I get it's improper. People like it when you use the special character. So it's just so hard to type. How do you type Mew? Let's see, scaled. Yeah. All right, I think this is probably correct. We can add some tests. I'll make Ader do it. All right, we got to add the origin. Format SI unit. We're also going to have to give this a name. I might be able to get format SI unit. I'll try to get this NPM package. We'll see how it goes. Going to need a main file, index.js, scripts. We'll add a build script, TSUp node, index.ts. This is going to build the dist. We'll make it an ESM module. What else do we want? It's probably good. Source map, DTS. I think this always has to be the second parameter. Gotta add a version. Okay. Looks good. Okay. See if we got it. We got it. Yeah. V001. Okay, so we've published this now, so if this works, we can just use it, but let's write some tests for funsies with Ader, since it takes 5 seconds and makes it dramatically easier to contribute or understand usage. We can also write a README. Why not? Why not? All right. So for Ader's context, say that package JSON. Write a README and create a test / basic.test.tst file that tests the basic functionality of this library. Okay, while that's going on, I'm going to take a bathroom break. BRB. Yay. Looks like there is a bug. Can you fix the test? I wonder how it did on the README. We don't need to advertise Yarn. Cool. Looks like it fixed it. Okay. Publish this as version 002. I like to always specify files when I publish NPM modules. I don't think you have to specify the README. Yeah, I won't specify the README. We'll do dist. Should be good enough. I gotta order lunch too. Add tests and README. And we're done. Oh man, everybody's gonna be asking me about the CLI tutorial if I don't do the CLI tutorial. I'm sorry, Shibo. I don't know. Maybe I might give it a go. We'll see. People want it. The CLI is very cool. It's very cool. It's just like, it's a bit of effort. All right, did we make a PR for this one? I'm having trouble tracking everything that's going on. All right, so we did a format check here. This guy's passing. Let's get this format done because that'll make future PRs a little easier. What else we got going on? Format SI unit. We just published this. Let's see how the README looks on GitHub. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. All right. So now core can import this and hopefully we can fix this dumb snapshot issue. All right. So who is even, where is that unit even made? So it's like I'm just gonna close things that aren't relevant. Circuit to SVG. Yeah. How do you do this? SVG objects for schematic port pin label. Let's just remind ourselves what we're doing real quick. Rid of it. So when we draw schematic components, we're putting in this number value and it's not being formatted well. So circuit to SVG draws it, and there's going to be some drawing function. Yeah, draw schematic component with symbol because those are symbols. You know, I might have caused this bug. The more I think about it, the more I think I caused this. Yeah, with this line here, display value. Yeah. All right, what test is this in? We have C2 in chip port without port arrangement. It's kind of a weird test for it, though. And this one's messed up, too. But neither of these tests are kind of specialized in this particular case. Let's get Aider to write a test for us. So add format SI unit. I don't know. I might be able to piece this together really quickly. Display value. Display value isn't set anywhere. I don't know. I kind of don't think I caused this. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. We'll see. How does resistor set? Because I think it's responsible for its source component creation. Let's see, source render. Yeah, do initial source render. It doesn't set display value. So what we could do is we could say display value equals props dot resistance format SI unit. And then we got to add an ohm symbol. Oh, there's a way to do this on a Mac. Now it's complaining. Okay, so circuit to SVG, which is this one. Source component dot display value. It does have this as any cast though, so that could be part of the issue. So basically, source components don't have support for display value. It's kind of a bad. I feel like it should be on the schematic component. Because it's for a schematic display. It could be used for other display things, but it's primarily for schematic display. So I think it should be on the schematic component. It's kind of hard to say because it'll get redundant, but with like, you know, if we have spice component and all that. And this file also needs that little anti-Zod refactor. I don't have to worry when I do this refactor because at the end, we just have type inferred. And then we're going to do expect types match. And they basically, like, there's no way. Yeah, so it doesn't match. So we got to fix stuff. There's no Zod type or type for the schematic port arrangement yet. It's also a really weird type. Also, this should really be left pin count. Oy vey. All right. Okay. We're still failing here. So it's always a little tricky to debug why something's failing, but you can do like, let's compare the schematic arrangement to the inferred schematic component port arrangement to see if it's that particular one. So yeah, it's this particular one that's causing the issue. If we hover, okay, so yeah, this is kind of interesting. It's saying, Yeah, I don't know. Interesting types here. Lots of stuff going on with this big union. So I think we just keep refactoring until everything works out. We can do a lot of intermediary types that it's possible to validate. So we'll do schematic component port arrangement by size. Do the same thing for this one. This massive type here. Oy. I'll copy this. Okay. Still not matching. But now we can do a lot of little subtype comparisons. We can say expect types match, z.infer, yeah, basically that. So that one matches. What about this one? Okay, that one also matches. Weird. Oh, actually, maybe this was never a problem. I think this dot optional thing. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That could be why this one's failing. If I make this optional. I don't know how to make this optional, actually. Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So it's not failing on that type. Refactor was kind of unnecessary, but it improves things. It's all an improvement. So we're missing something else. We could do expect types match, key of, schematic port arrangement, key of, or sorry. Oh. And then we can look at the value of these. Oh, we can't. All right, this one I'm actually going to delete because it's a little redundant, but I'm just kind of messing around with the type system to see if we can get an easy answer here. Inferred schematic component keys. And then if I hover over these, we should be able to see the difference. Oh, maybe not. That's unfortunate. So what's not represented here? Port labels? Was it literally just missing that one prop? It was literally just missing that one prop. Okay. That was dumb, but whatever. We got a good refactor out of it. Okay, now we want to modify this to add a new property, display value. Like that. By the way, normally vary against value, but as like part of a word at all, but resistor value, capacitor value, those are the colloquial terms. So, You know, we could say symbol display value like that. That definitely makes it better. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that makes it a lot better, actually. Also clarifies that it's only for symbols. Okay, refactor schematic component to Zodless type. Add symbol display value. Yeah, this is why you can't just like TS ignore everything or as any everything, because like otherwise now this just like doesn't work because nobody put it in the spec. I'm looking at lunch. I'm thinking sandwiches. Let's do it. From Gus's, a San Francisco brand, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Sandwiches en route. San Francisco just voted to have a tax every time you take a Waymo, which is kind of unfortunate. So it means Waymo's prices are going to go up, and they were like just bordering affordable. So it's kind of unfortunate. Not happy about increased Waymo prices, and then the money goes to the Muni. So if you like the Muni, that's cool. But you know, I don't live on the Muni, so the Muni is like a subway. It's like a train. All right, we got that done. So we're working our way towards fixing this bug. So we introduced a new circuit JSON thing to represent this value. So the goal is to get circuit to SVG to use that. So now we go to the circuit to SVG project, and we should be able to pull in that new property. So we'll say text value equals schematic component dot symbol display value or nothing. And for this to come through properly, we'll need to just update to that new version of the spec. The comma operator is disallowed. All right, bad comma. Looks like that's working. To do a test, kind of need a test. Oh. It's tough to get this to work before Core has the fix, so it's like a chicken and egg. Do we wait on Core, or do we have Circuit to SVG do it first? Yo, Tanmei, what up? How's it going? Long time no see. Just chilling, doing some TypeScript. On X, it says I'm unboxing something, but that's because Restream did an update and broke the X integration, so the title didn't change. I'm actually just coding. I don't know. Just doing a bunch of small fixes. Keeping it real. Small fixes. Let's do a map on this. And then I'll just say temporary hack until TS Circuit Core supports symbol display value. We're gonna like temporarily kind of break this, like make it look broken. So we'll say if elm.type is equal to schematic component, elm.symbol display value equals, yeah, basically. Cool. I'm being a night owl. It's 2:30 a.m. Whoa, what the heck, man? It's way too late. I haven't stayed up till 2:30 in a long time. Oh yeah, Elm, let's just say 10. 10 of them. $2:30 a.m. Madness. Property 2 match SVG snapshot does not exist on typestring. I think I'm probably missing like a parenthesis somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Tanmay, I didn't see too many contributions to TS Circuit for Hacktoberfest. What's up with that, man? What's up with that? Where are those contributions at? What, you don't like TS Circuit? Okay, cool. So now we have sort of a simulation of what that'll look like. Look at this. Look at this little bug. The circle is above here, below there. Not loving that. Should I fix that too? Is today the day of small fixes? So that has to do with the draw order. So this guy is a path, and this guy is something else. It's probably a, oh, this is garbage code. Port, it's probably a port. It does kind of look like all the ports are being drawn last, so therefore they should be on top of everything. I believe that's how an SVG works. I don't know why it's not on top. All right. Well, you can make people happy some of the time, but you can't make everyone happy all the time. Switch to display symbol value, or it's symbol display value. All right. Just reading over my PR and making sure everything looks good. You know what everyone should do when they submit a PR. Just saying. All right. Looks good. It's like a little regression in there, but it'll be fixed when core gets merged. Cool. All right. It's all coming together. So now we set the symbol display value inside of the schematic component. We could say schematic symbol display value. We could put it in here like that. Or we could define as a method. Let's add a, okay, so normal component draws the symbol somewhere, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to say schematic symbol display value equals, we'll say this, get schematic symbol display value. Actually, undefined is fine. JavaScript has stuff like for doing undefined, like you might as well use it. Okay, we'll use parsed props.resistance. Okay, cool. So we'll format SI unit and then put ohm there. Yeah. And then we'll want to do the same thing for capacitor, so that those display properly too. Okay. Let's update our snapshots. And we'll take a look at one as a quick sample. Oof. Ah, man, I really need a better SVG viewer. I might make one, honestly. It's getting to that point where I should just make one because nobody's saving me a better VS Code schematic or SVG viewer. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. So I open this up and go over here, copy path, because the hotkey for that doesn't work for some reason a lot of the time. I have no idea why. Copy path. Yeah. Then we go to browser. What the hell's going on there? The heck? I don't know. But R1 isn't, it doesn't have a display value next to it, so we're kind of not good there. What test is this? This is the bug high port number test. I think I made a test that specifically tested this. Let's see. Did I? Let's check the PR. What do we have? Okay. This is what I was testing. Oh, this is for the pin label stuff. So now we have an issue with values. So I don't have a test for that, but example 5 is pretty good. So let's open up that example 5 test file. And then let's find C1. Get where... Yeah, this is a little annoying. You're supposed to be able to use get using for this, but I think it's not set up properly. So source component dot get where name is C1 dot source component ID. It's a little janky. Let's just log that guy out and see what the symbol display value is. Okay, that looks good. 10 microfarad. Oh, it's going in wrong. Yeah. I don't know why I typed it like that. Symbol display value. I don't know why it's complaining. Do we need to update circuit JSON? Whoops. Okay. There we go. Okay, cool. See if our snapshot improved at all. Yeah, okay, so now we have 1 ohm. Is that right? Were these 1 ohm? Example 5. Resistor 10K. Just going to log that source component and make sure the resistance is being loaded correctly. Capacitance. Oh. I guess we want to be looking at... Yeah, we should check the capacitance. So the capacitance... there's no capacitor here. Oh, wrong snapshot. Yeah, this is the one we want. Yeah, this one loads... Oh, no. Instead of 10... Yeah, so R1 is the weird one, but it should be 10K. Resistance 10. It's an SI unit parsing issue. This might have been what started this whole mess. Okay. So now we got to find the origin. The origin is probably circuit JSON issue with the spec. Tests, parse and convert SI units. This actually seems like exactly what we want. Parse and convert SI units. Let's make sure this handles 10K properly. I mean, it handled 1 kilometer. Yeah, 1 kilometer. What happens when you don't have a parsed unit? Cannot determine unit. Null. I think it should be null. Okay. Yeah, it parses it as 10. And it parses the unit as K. Okay, so this is the code that changed that's probably causing the issue. So it's saying to get the unit, reverse the string, and we should actually clarify this because that whole section is confusing. So reversed string, reversed input string. And then we're saying it go until you hit a digit. So from the back, go until you find a digit, and then that's going to be the unit. The problem is it's not actually a unit, right? Say possible. Man, that's tricky. Because I bet 10. I bet 10 kilo ohms would work if I put in the ohm symbol, which I'm gonna have to find because I don't know how to type it. Something I should learn. So I think this would work. That doesn't work either. Oh, actually, no, that does work. Parsed unit. Yeah, I just need to update this. There we go. So that works, but it doesn't work with 10K. And it's because of this unit reversal thing. And yeah. Basically, we don't know if it's an if the K at the end is a SI unit or not, or I don't know, an SI unit or a measure. What do you call these things? So I think we have to check against this list. Or the other way to do it is we check against this list if it's an SI prefix multiplier. Which also seems like a pretty good idea. So maybe we do that. I'm going to call that number part instead. And we'll say if unit in SI prefix multiplier number part should include the SI prefix, the SI multiplier, I guess is what we're calling it, if there's no other unit. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little weird though. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, see if that fixes it. Broke something else. Parsed unit M, unit of value millimeters. So okay, so this is the one that's failing now. So this is hitting our new logic. Millimeter. M is one of those things where it is kind of both. So yeah, okay. So M is kind of an exception. So if unit is in and not unit in whatever this other thing is, unit mappings. So basically, like, that covers. Does it? The naming here is really bad. Yeah, 5 meters is the issue. So basically, if it's in any of the variants, I guess that's also because meters is a variant. So if it's in any of the variants, that also disqualifies it. Unit, mapping, and variant suffixes is a new set. Yeah, okay, perfect. And not. Okay, now what's our issue? Oh, 10 kiloohms is failing now. Is that right? Oh, it's saying this is empty string instead of null. Oh, huh. Okay, so maybe that's this part. This should be null. Man, this is so jank. All right. Maybe we handle this special case very specially. So if you don't have a unit, if you like, basically, if you can't determine this entire section, we're just going to do it manually. So we can say, basically do parse float unit or parse float number part. Yeah, times, yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. We just return that as the value, parsed unit null, and unit value null. Okay. And what are you complaining about? Number is not. That should be inferred from this. That's crazy. Why would that not be inferred? Whatever. SI multiplier. Nice, nice. Number is not assignable to blah, 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 blah. What are you talking about? Isn't value supposed to be a number? I feel like I'm losing my mind. All right. We're anycasting it below, so I'm going to anycast it here too. I don't know what's going on. All right. Done. Oy vey. Okay, so fix unitless resistance parsing. Lots of bugs today. Create a PR. It was nice that the test for that, there was already a lot of conventions. Made my life easier. Imagine if that code didn't have tests. It'd be insane. It'd be insane to work with that. Okay. Bro, do you organize your files and stuff? What do you mean? Like what files? In the projects? They're very organized. But, you know, depending on the complexity of the project, I would say this project's pretty organized. Source, CAD, common PCB schematic. It's pretty good. What made you think it wasn't organized? Ouch. Okay, let's update circuit JSON here. Version 9.6. Is that the version that was just released? One of the best things about Bun is when you update a version, it tells you what version it updated to. It drives me nuts that NPM doesn't do that. Such a good quality of life enhancement. All right, let's see if this is displaying properly now. Copy path. Go to browser. Yeah, look at that. We did it. God, it took so long. No, not the code base, the files on the desktop. Not really. Yeah, it's pretty messy. I don't really organize them. My life is as chaotic as my desk and desktop. My desk is also very chaotic and messy. All right, well, I'm pretty happy about that. We got symbols working. There's a lot of improvements on this PR. Okay, so symbol, display value, working, update circuit JSON. We do have this thing where there are net labels all over the place now. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not going to call that a regression because the net labels are appearing. But it is unfortunate. My desktop's not that messy. Let's check out the snapshots. Make sure those snapshots look good. Yeah, look at that. That's so much better. 1 nanofarad here instead of a bunch of gobbledygook long numbers. These are 1, which is a bit odd. It might be set like that. I'm not going to look at that right now because everything else is working, so I kind of doubt it's a real bug. Yeah, those look great. Those look so great. Oh, yes. Schematic view finally coming together. All right, let's see. Anything notable happen? Holy moly. Circuit to SVG is huge. What the F? I think this install size increased dramatically. Just going to chase down every friggin' bug today. What PR triggered this? 19. Guess it's been like this for a little while. Wow. 2 weeks ago? This module shouldn't be 20 megabytes. Looks like most of it is Circuit SVG. Bro, are you getting bald? I don't know, am I? A little bit. It's life. You age, you become bald. People don't think you're a young streamer anymore. They're like, oh, you're a graybeard. Damn. Hitting me with those truth bombs. 3 weeks ago, it was smaller. A lot, actually. Oh, here's a PR that dramatically increased it. Schematic auto layout. Where'd the size come from? It looks like Circuit SVG got really big. It's probably Circuit SVG. Oh, schematic auto layout is also huge. Do I use hair oil? No. What the fuck is hair oil? Do you mean like anti hair, like or pro hair growth products or something? Hair oil. I'm just thinking of some oily haired guy. No, I don't use any products. Let's see. What do we want to do here? So, yeah, I'm just going to file an issue for this. Figure out why schematic layout and circuit to SVG are so big. Reduce their size and update core. These modules have inflated the core. It's good for the growth of your hair. Bro, what are you talking about? That's just oily. Madness. Core size, we should make sure they use TSUp node, not TSUp. which bundles dependencies, and have the package.json files defined properly. And we'll add a little bounty to this one. It's an easy one. Bro, it is not cooking oil or fossil fuel oil you are thinking of. Dude, I know what coconut oil is, but your hair is going to be greasy with oil. Plus, I'm going to be real with you for a second. I'm going to be real with you. Anything like that does not work. Like, coconut oil has been around a long time. Like, it doesn't work. Like, because there are tons of bald people. If the solution was that simple, people would do that, but they don't. That's me being real with you. Cool. This PR is probably ready to go. Since we verified the bundle size was not a regression. Cool. All right. So we fixed it. We did the thing we set out to do. If we update circuit to SVG, this should work in snippets. We should see better stuff. Yeah, that was the main thing we set out to do. That fix took a lot longer than expected. But yeah, let's see it through all the way, I guess. We fixed other things along the way. Bro, it works. I tried it. Get out of here, dude. What do you think I am? 5 years old. I'm not that naive. Keep eating an apple a day keeps you away from the doctor. It's that simple, but it's boring. Yeah, I don't think so, man. Yeah. If there was a simple solution to the problem of just like aging and all the problems that comes with it, people would do it. I don't believe people are fundamentally dumb. A lot of people are like, oh, people are stupid. Everybody's kind of stupid. I do not believe that. I think people act dumb, but I don't think they are dumb. And if there was an easy solution to health and wellness, people would do it. It would become normalized in our culture. Gonna update core and circuit to SVG. We can update some other stuff too. Circuit JSON, I think we updated. Circuit JSON, TS circuit props, just to make sure that all those good changes come in. Update deps. We should get a preview on this. So update deps. So we'll create this PR. That'll give us a preview branch. So we should be able to see our fix against the live code. Something I wanted to do. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. Let me check when my sandwich is getting here. I'm not going to eat on stream. Oh, actually, yeah, I got to cut the stream off. He's like downstairs. Well, thanks for joining. Let's see, is this preview deployed? Darn. Hate to be anticlimactic. Let me see how far away he is. It says he's approaching with my order and will arrive soon. Yeah, he's outside. Well, that's the end of the stream. Thank you for listening.